because I came to this dance with 2 left feet. And so they helped me learn this dance, and slowly we figured it out together. And so thank you for your patience, and thank you to them. Thank you especially to Julia, the best deputy that I could have had. She's been great, and I'll just say that in general, this leadership team has been fantastic. We have done a heck of a lot in 3 years. You know, as you look across our different departments, the reality is progress is uneven. Progress is always uneven. That's the reality. But you look at the day-to-day work of our firefighters, of our police officers, of our public works employees, of our library folks, of our community development folks. We have strong dedication from our team members. They have done so much over the past 3 years. We actually are in, I believe, a much stronger spot than we were. We have worked hard to increase pay. We've worked hard to increase just the culture of the organization. And a lot of it is because of this leadership team. So I was close to wearing a Hawaiian shirt here today. Some of them wore Hawaiian shirt prints, but I didn't do it because I didn't want to be disrespectful. You know, this team is really special, and at the end of the day, they show up each day to serve Chattanooga, and I'm thankful to have had the opportunity to serve Chattanooga. I felt called to this work. It was a unique time for me to come and serve alongside each of you, alongside the leadership team, alongside all of our team, 2,600 employees, and alongside our mayor. And I'm thankful to our mayor who gave me this opportunity to serve. And I'm just thankful to be called to this work, and just would remind all of us that all of our team members just have so much dignity, and that if we treat each other with that dignity and respect, we can accomplish a heck of a lot together. So thank you all for this opportunity.
You know, you have to compare city government service to dog years. So in essence, basically, you spent 21 years in service, and I understand. You
know, I knew when, actually I was getting my hair cut last week, and I said, hey, I'm finishing up my time to my hair cutter. And he said, you've only been there 3 years? And, you know, I think there's something to what you're saying. Yeah. So, yeah.
All right. Vice Chair Hill.
Ryan, I'm going to miss you. You are a person that I could always count on to do what you said you were going to do, and to speak plainly when there was a challenge that you knew was not going to be as simple to tackle as one might hope. I, too, am a person that is chooses my work by where I'm called, and I know that can be pretty gut-wrenching work to do, and it's hard to follow the footsteps where they lead. So we appreciate the time that you were here, and we wish you all the best moving forward.
Thank you.
Councilman Ledford.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ryan, I consider you a friend. I really do. I've enjoyed spending time with you and your wife, Heather. And I just want to say thank you. I know this won't be the end of where we go. You've instilled confidence when you're addressing or providing information to us. I can tell where your heart is, and I can tell that you've done your due diligence, and I respect that immensely. And the work that you have performed here at the city has obviously trickled down. It obviously has cast an influence on everyone. And I just wanted to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, because I know you've taken a lot of arrows, and you've taken them with grace. You've taken them with a very I think, endearing candor, and I appreciate it very much. And you've dived in. When you speak to us or you shared information with us, I felt like you were really, you were giving us the information. It's almost like you could read our minds. You know what we were asking for. And that's very important when dealing with folks who are questioning and searching for answers. And I really appreciate the work that you've done here. I wish you all the best. I really do, you and your lovely family. And I hope that our paths continue to cross. And I'll be glad to buy you beer sometime.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman.
Ryan, you must have made an impact. This board is full. Councilman Hester.
Right, I'm just grateful, man. I just want to thank you for all you've done and just those subtle changes in the culture with public works, man. You kind of worked that, and man, I just thank you. It was wonderful. I want to just wish you the best in all your endeavors. Thank you again.
Councilman.
Yeah.
Councilwoman Knoll.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, I love me some Ryan, so I don't, irregardless of what you might think and the situations we might have got in sometime, I would have windmilled about you if I had to. So, and your wife is absolutely amazing. I love her to death. Just
We all know
beautiful.
who you love the most.
Just a beautiful, kind soul, just a down-to-earth soul. But you have done an amazing job. You have rolled that wagon with me when that wheel was roll off. You would stop and put it back on and help me right on through. Now, I appreciate all that you have done. You have helped me through a lot of difficult situations. You have given me really good advice, and I know I came in with the hickory a couple of times to, you know, there's a saying, there's an old-fashioned whooping. You hadn't had it yet until you get that hickory whooping. But anyway, I really do appreciate you. I admire you, and I wish you the best. And wherever you go, it's going to be amazing. They are going to be one better to having you on board. Now, you might have came in here with two left feet with the dance, but you leaving dropping it like it's hot. So you ready. You ready. But thank you.
I don't know
and I
about that,
appreciate
Councilwoman.
it. I appreciate it. And look, I'll throw you chocolate kisses.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's
I'm
woman
going to tell
Dollar.
Heather you said that about the dancing. Yeah. All right.
Yes. Ryan, I just want to say thank you so much. You have been dependable and reliable, and I have enjoyed working with you, sharing some laughs and really tackling city things that sometimes I don't know much about. So I appreciate you navigating me through a lot of issues with my constituents, and just thank you for being who you are and not wavering in that, because that is important. So I'm wishing you all the best. I tell you, I hate when we lose employees, especially good employees. But we know how city pay can be sometimes. But I appreciate you, and I appreciate just everything you've done. I'm gonna miss you, Ryan. I'm gonna miss you sitting back there, and I wish you all the best, Ryan. Thank you. Just thank you so much, because it's been hard as a newer council member trying to figure stuff out. Having somebody that's gonna say, hey, let's figure it out together, or let's do this is important. And then to see, and sometimes many times you don't get a chance to see the other side, which is the community side, which is when that thing is done, when that thing is completed, we get to thank you, and I'm gonna take it. But you know, it really goes to you and the team for doing all the hard work. So you don't get to see that sometimes, the actual improvements and actual things that community members are thankful for the work that you've done. So if you've made my life easier and you made constituents' lives better because of the work you did, and that is commendable. So I'm gonna miss you, Ryan, and but I do wish you all the best. Right, thank you, Ryan.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Burrs.
We've already spoken quite a bit. So you need to know that Ryan and I talk regularly, particularly starting with budget time. And we have regular conversations that sometimes are easy, sometimes are not. But we became good friends over the process. Gosh, I've got a lot of respect for you and your knowledge. when I found out he was thinking of leaving and then was leaving, my first call was, how can you do this to me? I'm going to really miss you. I still have your cell phone. We'll talk otherwise, but you know what? We're very, very lucky to have your input, your intelligence, your knowledge of how things work. We're all the better for your having been here, and I'm the better for having you as a friend. So good luck and have fun where you go.
Thank you.
All right, I think that's everyone. Ryan, I think the conclusion is you're going to be missed. Thank you for your service here in the city.
Thank you all so much.
All right, can I have a motion on the minutes? All right, we got a motion on the minutes with a proper second. With no objections, the minutes will stand as they have been recorded. Council, we do need at our recess an attorney-client privilege this afternoon. I do want to make one scheduling note. Next week, our council meeting will begin at 3 o'clock. That's so that we can get time to go to the parade and the ceremony for Olivia. And then we will have, well, let me put it this way. We'll have no strategic planning next week, but it will be replaced at 2 o'clock with an attorney-client privilege meeting. So at 2 o'clock next Tuesday, we will have an attorney-client privilege meeting. Okay, no strategic planning, but an attorney-client privilege meeting. All right, moving into this afternoon's agenda, Council, if you will look over the agenda for this evening, we have a couple of items on final reading. Is there anything on final reading that needs to be brought to our attention? Councilman Ledford.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I will be asking for a deferral to September 10th on item D under planning, case number 2024-0108. Part of the reason for that, if council would like to know, is the applicant does have COVID and reached out to me, and there is a complication that has arisen between first and final reading. So if you'll allow it, I know we have a very quick meeting on the 3rd, so we're going to ask for the 10th for a deferral. And if the city attorney would please add in the District 4 caption to that back in, that would be helpful.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Councilman Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I also have a planning item, C on the agenda, that I'm going to add a condition to this afternoon. I've already talked to the applicant, but I will do that during our main meeting. Mr. Rennick, if you don't mind, that the condition that you had sent, the language, I would just ask that you read that. And actually, if you don't mind doing it right now, just so that everybody is aware, and then this evening, I would add that as a condition.
This is for case 2024-0106.
That's correct, sir.
The condition is subject to single-family detached units or only one single-wide manufactured home within the area of rezoning.
Great.
I can send that to the city attorney's office.
That'd be great. And I'll add that as a condition this evening.
Councilman, was there also maybe a thought or a condition of only one egress?
There was, and I'll talk to the applicant between now and this evening just to confirm that egress. I know that the 3 that were on there are options, but I think we probably do want to limit it to only one when the development is complete.
Okay.
So, but I'll work with him and make sure that I've got that right.
Okay, all right, very well.
And with that amendment, it'll take it back to a first
Correct.
reading then tonight.
That is correct.
Yes.
Okay. All right, any other item on final reading that needs to be brought to our attention? If not, moving down into first reading, we have no ordinances on first reading this afternoon. Then moving into resolutions, we have a couple of board appointments. Moving down into economic development, some items there under Parks and Public Works that I think we went over last week. Is that correct, Councilman? Mm-hmm. Anything on these items that need to be brought to our attention? Anything under resolutions for this week's agenda? Okay?
I will say something.
Okay. Vice Chair Hill?
Since those are resolutions and you may take them as a packet, I just wanted to elevate item F, the Parks and Outdoors resolution related to the riverfront framework.
Okay.
I wanted to publicly say thank you very much to Emily Mack from River City Company for taking time to go through the full framework with me. And something that stood out to me that I wanted just to elevate in the public space is that one of the key things that they were thinking about in this framework for this riverfront park renewal is focusing on daily and local use. So the 355 days a year that Chattanoogans are here using this park, not just the 10 days a year when we have really special big events. So they were thoughtful about how they're going to hold both of those, but making sure that, like so many of us on this council, we're building a Chattanooga for Chattanoogans. And then we'll welcome folks in to be a part of what's so terrific here. So I give a high five to all the folks that were involved in that River City work. And there's a lot more to come, and I think it's going to be terrific. So thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Ledford.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. I want to echo Vice Chair's comments because I too went and met with Emily, and we spent about an hour going over the framework, which I was able to absorb more detail. And there's quite a bit of detail that is very enticing to want to accept the framework of what they're trying to do, including federal funds, including state funds that probably we weren't able to capture in last week's meeting. Vice Chair Hill said it very well when she said everyday use, because when you dive into the framework and you understand what the intentional designs are, it is to activate and make that space more usable for everyday residents, not just a special event. So I'm glad you picked up on that. So that was a very, very intuitive remark that you made, and I think we probably both got that out of a little more in-depth meeting. So I just wanted to say thank you also to Emily. Is she here? There she is. Hi, Emily. There you go. Thank you. I appreciate your time and for being so thorough in reaching out, and you were very gracious. So thank you. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you.
One other thing to add.
Follow up?
Yes, one other thing to add on item G related to applying for the Blue Cross Healthy Place grant. This council knows that park maintenance over the long term is really important, that we think differently about that, and Councilwoman Burrs brought up the question of fiscal note and what the maintenance budget will be for this park. In speaking with Emily, I better understand that the $10 million grant does actually require a 20% set aside in a separate fund that's specifically for maintenance of this portion of the riverfront. And the $10 million with back of the napkin work is expected to do a significant portion of the plan. I think that Chattanoogans will see, if we are awarded the grant, Chattanoogans will see some really positive and exciting changes sooner rather than later to that space. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, anything else concerning this week's agenda? If not, we will turn to next week's proposed agenda, our September 3rd agenda. We have no ordinances on final reading, no ordinances on first reading. Therefore, everything next week will be resolutions. We have some under economic development, under fire. The mayor's office has an appointed. Parks and Public Works. Scott, I do have a question concerning the resolution for the National Park City. So I was going through the email that you sent us with the attachment, and it talks about a charter in there. There was I don't know, for lack of a better word, a chart of a charter, but that did not seem like the charter itself. Do you have what the actual charter, how it reads?
That is actually it, and be happy to share that with you. That chart that you saw was the Chattanooga Charter, correct?
Okay, well, that doesn't read like any charter I've ever read.
Understood.
Okay, so I guess my question then is, So it has the charter and it has the item, and then it has the action listed. The actions, in my opinion, are somewhat broad and, I don't want to use the word elusive, but not very specific. And I guess I'm concerned about more of the specifics. And I'll just take one of the bullet points, for example, environmental stewardship and education. And it just says, lead with education and action to protect nature for future generations. Can you, and we could do this offline, but I sort of need that fleshed out to understand
Yeah.
what you're really telling me, and I'm understanding what you're saying.
Yeah, happy to dive into all this. The first thing you have to do is you have to leave the government framework. This is not about, this is the opposite of government. This is saying a group of citizens say, we love nature in Chattanooga, and it is wonderful. What are we going to do collectively to protect that? I don't know. Neighbor Bob may decide, I'm going to plant natives. That's awesome. That's part of it. The Tennessee Aquarium may say, we want to restore rainbow darters. That may be another piece. But we want to be intentionally open to unopening all the different potentials that could come for that. And that's really been the key. For instance, in London, when they started, they didn't know this. They said, we want to elevate local plants. Their equivalent of Home Depot now voluntarily decided to only sell native plants out of the blue. Had no idea that's where it would go, but that was the key to unlock that. And Adelaide, for instance, they didn't know they were going to talk about platypus. Their citizens got together and said, what if we restored platypus to the downtown river? No idea. That fit into that one. But the point is to find a place that each resident can find a little way, a little difference to be that difference maker in it. And then really the goal is to say, how do you then tell that story as a whole so that virtuous cycle of good decision after good decision starts to affirm itself and move itself forward.
So it's not like we will, on this council, begin to adopt specifics.
No.
The specifics will just be ideas, and
That's exactly
volunteers
it.
will go out and begin
That's exactly the point.
sowing seeds.
That's exactly it. I mean, and it is unapologetically idealistic, but you know what? I think we need some of that because there's a great writer who said, you know what, if we wait for government to solve all the problems, it's going to cost too much and take too long. If we do it as individuals, it may not be enough. But if we get the two to work together, it may be just enough and it may be just in time. And that's the whole overreaching idea here of this campaign, is unlock that capacity. It's almost a United Way idea, except at the city level.
Okay. All right. Any other questions for Scott while he's up here on this? No? Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. All right. Any other questions concerning next week's proposed agenda under resolutions? Okay, seeing no lights, we will now move to our purchase items for this week. Council, do you have any questions concerning any of the purchase items for your consideration for this afternoon? I see no lights. Moving now to future considerations. Anything under future considerations that needs to be brought to the attention of the council? Well, y'all are a pretty easy crowd this afternoon. Okay, I'm not seeing any lights. We have no committee or departmental reports for this afternoon. We do need an attorney-client privilege.
Yes, sir.
A brief one?
Maybe a few minutes.
Okay. I'm going to give you about 5, and we will recess until 4:30.
That'll work.
Okay, so we'll be in recess until 4:30.